right. I want to welcome my very special guest, Lizzy Cangro. Lizzie, it's so good to see you. Welcome to Wish Somebody Would Have Told Me That, 99 Tips and Words of Wisdom for Fellow Female Entrepreneurs, the only virtual summit covering these tips. So this is super exciting. And for the guest, I want to give a little preview to who Lizzie is. So Lizzie is an expert nutritionist, wellness coach, and multi-award-winning author with a deep passion for helping other women finally get the body they've always wanted without dieting. Okay, who couldn't use more of that, right? Inspired by her own journey to love her body, she founded Nutrition by Lizzie in 2017 to help clients stop calorie counting, enjoy eating without guilt, and confidently step into the body they love and sustain it. Lizzie is a licensed member of the Association for Nutrition, certified teacher and fitness instructor. Her research-guided articles and podcasts on nutrition and mindset have been featured across the world. Holding a master's in natural sciences from the University of Cambridge and an MSc in nutrition from King's College in London, Lizzie pairs a scientific approach with empathetic understanding to help her clients silence their inner critic, prioritize their health and wellness, practice self-compassion, and let go of anxiety of comparing themselves to other women, which is such important work. All right. As a teenager, naivete combined with a bad advice from non-experts resulted in an eating disorder that lasted 10 years. After much inner work, she now uses her journey and the tools that have helped her to inspire and motivate others to rebel, unleash their inner power, and reclaim unconditional love for their bodies. Welcome to the virtual summit, Lizzy Cangro. I love it. I love what you talk about because it's such heartfelt work, heart-centered work, I should say. And so when you think about your introduction, a little bit about what you do, what do you think is your zone of genius? Because I know you're very talented in a number of ways.
Oh, first of all, thank you so much for having me. It's so good to be here and to be part of this. And that's really a great question. So my zone of genius is really in being able to tap into an individual's own needs in terms of not only their nutrition and their movement, but also in terms of their mindset and their kind of psychological barriers in order to create very effective, sustained change quickly. So in working with my clients, I can converse with them and really get a feel for, you know, some of their challenges and move them through these challenges quickly. So, you know, within a matter of weeks, they're saying things like, oh my goodness, all of that self-loathing that I've had for decades is gone. And moving them from a place of that level of self-hate into neutrality and then into a place of unconditional love for their bodies.
Beautiful. And so who's your dream client? Who would you say is that dream client that you love working with?
Yeah, and really I think it's the case there are a lot of people is that it's somebody who is in the position that I have been in. So maybe they have a real interest in health and wellness, and they're knee deep in all of the information, you know, done the programs, tried the products, but they're still not where they want to be in terms of when they look in the mirror, they're still hating on their body. They still notice that they've got that comparisonitis and they're shooting on themselves. And it's really interesting for me because a lot of these women are at different stages of their life. So maybe they are slightly younger than me, maybe they're slightly older, but I can really understand the challenges that they are going through. And that's what really kind of drives and motivates me, is because I can go, aha, I see you, I understand you. How about you try this tool? I'm very big on working with clients who are open to suggestions and don't want me to necessarily give them this cookie cutter plan. I want them to be able to go, okay, this works for me. I'm going to take this and I'm going to take this and I'm going to apply it to my life. So that really kind of lights me up, is when I can work with clients like that.
I love that. And if, as you look back at your career and what you've done and where you're going, like, why do you think it matters, this work that you do?
So just looking through my journey, I know that when I was able to let go of that inner mean girl and to stop dieting, stop really focusing on how my body looked and be grateful for, you know, what it does for me, I really up leveled in all areas of my life. My relationship got better. You know, I was able to triple my income within the space of a few months, and seeing those ripple effects, not just in terms of how you feel every single day, but how that plays out for your whole life, is huge. And to me, being able to really serve women in this way, just through the tools that I know work and that I've seen work for other people, is really it just keeps me motivated to be able to do more of this work, because it does have such a ripple effect on all aspects of our life.
Yeah.
And it can ripple down through generations as well. So
Yes.
for example, in a positive way, but also we've probably learned some of this inner mean girl talk, dieting behavior from our mothers, or, you know, the people that we grew up around. So being able to break that cycle is so huge for not only ourselves, but also for future generations, for our friends, for, you know, the people around us, because we can be a really positive role model in that respect.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Out of curiosity, how long have you been in business for an entrepreneur?
5 years. So I
5 years.
so I started off as a nutritionist, just purely nutrition,
Mhm.
back in the UK. And then I retrained, well, not retrained, I added on to my skill set by becoming a personal trainer, opened my business during COVID in the US.
Mhm.
And then, you know, just really now have that, I think, really important triad of nutrition, movement, and mindset in my work.
And when you look at aspiring entrepreneurs or women like yourself that are in business, what do you think is the number one struggle that they have to getting their business off the ground?
Ooh, that's such a good question. And I think there are lots of different things, but it all comes down to fear. Either perfectionism, which puts us in paralysis, or worrying that we're not capable enough, worrying that we're not good enough. And all of this just kind of puts us in paralysis and prevents us from ultimately helping other people. So, for example, people come to me. I'm a mentor for King's College nutrition students, and I just finished mentoring this one very, very talented student. And he was asking me, so, you know, what do I need to do to start my business? Do I need to do this and this and this and this? And I was like, just start, just get started. You know, I just started with a very simple website and got myself some business cards and created a Facebook group, and that's how I started. So I
Excellent.
think that fear really just kind of like gets in the way in whatever shape or form that comes up for us.
I agree. I think people just want to get it right all the time. They want to do it just right. And how do you do it just right? And it's like you're not going to know unless you jump in, right? You're not, there's so much value in launching the thing that you're going to do, or putting it or hitting the go live button, or putting that thing out there that you've been speculating about. And then the market will tell you everything that you need to know. So it's so true. It's such a great tip. Okay, so now we are going to go to, what are the three, damn, I wish somebody would have told me that, tips that you have to share?
Yeah, I have to say, like, I really value this conversation, because when I was starting out, I was also in fear, right? I had this fear about actually being seen as a nutritionist because I had an eating disorder, and I really feared being judged. And so really my first tip kind of relates to that, and that is trusting your gut. And I talk to clients about this in my practice, but really trusting your gut to me is really being able to tap into your intuition and to listen to listen to your body, listen to that kind of all-knowing feeling that comes in that tells you this is something that the world needs, this is something that I need to do, this is my purpose, and then just go for it. And maybe you will make mistakes, maybe you will, need to change your kind of path or make some adjustments. But at the end of the day, if you can go within and listen to yourself, that is just so empowering, so much more empowering than listening to all of this external noise that tells us that we should do this, we should do that. And I have time and time again, and we've discussed this, Patty, that when I listen to myself and listen to that all-knowing feeling, that's when the magic happens. If you start going outside and listening to that noise, that's when you kind of like are more likely to go off track.
Okay, so number one is listen to your gut. What about number two?
Number two is, I wrote them down just to make sure, is knowing yourself. Okay, so this actually helps you with number one, trusting your gut, because if you know yourself, that can really help you to validate your gut feeling. So, for example, when I kind of first came into the business world, I had an idea of who I was, but I wasn't really versed in the kind of field of astrology or human design. And because of that, that external noise was very, very tempting for me. Whereas when I started to learn more about myself, learn more about my human design, learn more about my my astrology chart, that was the kind of validation that I needed to realize, oh yeah, that really is me. I really enjoy writing. I'm somebody that needs to rest a little bit more than some other people. And that can kind of give you space and give you permission to trust your gut, trust those all-knowing feelings.
Oh, that's so good, because it is very true. I don't think I ever really got into the whole practice of the knowing yourself, like you said, until I became an entrepreneur, taking those tests to figure out why I do what I do, right? The way that you're wired, and then working within those parameters of this is how I learn, or this is why, for example, that person jumps in and gets things done, well, because they're a quick start, right? Or maybe more analytical. And it just gives you perspective on why you do what you do is really what is. So that's super valuable, knowing yourself. I agree 100%. Okay, what about number three?
Number three is being able to regulate your nervous system. So again, these all kind of relate together, and that's why I really wanted to put them together. So when we are able to regulate our nervous system, we're more able to do tip 1 and 2, because when our system is regulated, we can come from a place of calm and come from that place of inner knowing, where our head's not getting in the way, and we can just go, okay, like this is coming from a place of love, it's coming from a place of intuitive nudges as opposed to that fear that we talked about, and I can move forward. So I think nervous system regulation is a really essential part of being a business owner, because there are times where we're going to get scared, where we're going to have that fear. And so being able to put ourselves into a state of calm to make those important decisions is really, really necessary. And I don't think that is, again, going within in order to make those external decisions and behave from a place of alignment.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, so the recap is number one is listen to your gut. Number two is knowing yourself. And number three is regulating your nervous system. That's awesome. I love it. And it's so true.
Yay.
All right. With all that said, thank you for that. How do people hear more about you and how you can help them? Take it away.
Yeah, well, as I say, thank you again. And if anyone wants to continue to connect with me, the best place is Instagram. I'm at Nutrition by Lizzie. Lizzie is spelled with a Y. And I just hang out over there and share my tips and tricks and tools for just being the most confident you and letting go of that inner mean girl voice that I think as women, we are all experienced in. So that's the best place to find me. And then for your listeners, the participants of the summit, I'm actually offering a special deal where if you go to reclaimtherebel.com, you can get a copy of my paperback book on Amazon. And when you buy that paperback, just send a screenshot of your order and send it to me on Instagram, and I will give you a free ebook to go with that paperback copy. So you'll have the ebook and the paperback.
Oh, excellent. Excellent. And they can find that at reclaimtherebel.com. And all of the information on how to connect with Lizzie will be right below this video. All the links on how to get in touch with her, how to jump in and check out her book. And Lizzie, thank you so much for sharing your 3 tips so that people don't have to say, damn, wish somebody would have told me that. So thank you so much for being a participant on this summit. I so appreciate your everything that you've shared today.
Thank you so much, Patty.
Thank you.